What if you need to have a lower third on the screen for the live stream or for a recording, but you don't want to show that in person? And you're already using the props layer for something else, and so you can't do that. Is there a way to do that? Well, stick around and find out. Presented by Church Tech U, it's the ProPresenter show. On today's show, how to have a lower third on a slide that doesn't show in person without changing looks. Hi, and welcome again to the ProPresenter show. This is the show where I teach you all about ProPresenter. My name's Paul Allen Clifford. And before we get started, if you're used to putting like nameplates and such on the props layer, but you ever wondered if there was a way to do it and not put it on the props layer? Or maybe you wanted to use the props layer for something totally different that would interfere with this? Go ahead, tell me about it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and share as well. So this is something that I've been noodling on for a while. As it turns out, the props layer is so powerful that people kind of default to using that, when maybe they should ask the question, is there another way to do that? So I thought that we would head on over to my computer and take a look at another way to do it. So here we are in ProPresenter, and let's actually use my lower third here. So if I right click and edit this, this is the one that you just saw when this started. If I click on, actually I'd forgotten that I did it that way. So let's go back to show mode and let me create a new lower third. Let's actually put that in with the message, because that makes even more sense. So let's see here. Find this real quick. Okay. Yeah, that one's fine. Let's add that to the playlist. I probably looked right past it earlier, but there it is, right there. Okay, so let's say that we wanted to put a lower third right here, and that way we could just go right along, but we don't want to change back and forth between different looks. How could we do that? Well, let's right click and edit this slide, and I'll just put my name in here, Paul, A-L-A-N. That's how you spell my Allen, because my parents didn't use the normal one. Clifford, M-div. Might as well mention it. I don't use it very often, so okay. And let's squish this down so that it's on the bottom third. Now, the problem that we have, though, is when here, let's go to my congregation screen, which would be the in-person screen. When I show it, that's going to show there, in addition to showing it on the live stream screen, which would be my alpha screen. So how can I hide this? Well, if I right click and I edit the slide, what I could do is, I've got a couple of options. I think the best one, though, is this visibility checkbox right here. So all of the following conditions are met. Slide object, this object, does not have text. So let's see what happens when I do that. Now I can still see it here. I click on it again. It has hidden on the alpha output, but if I go to the congregation, it's also hidden. So I said showing it in one place and not the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my look here, and I'm going to do this once and for all. Let's see here, which, it's probably this one is the one that I want. So here, let me make that live just to see. Okay, and I believe, yep. So since it's an alternate theme, that isn't showing. The reason that it didn't work earlier is because this didn't have an alternate theme on it. See? No alternate themes. But the worship one does. And so that's what enables that to happen, is anytime that you have an alternate theme, those settings, including the visibility checkbox, are overridden by what's going on in the alternate theme. So while that shows up there, if I click on this, this is the lower third. If I click on this, this is the lower third. If I click on this even, it's a lower third. So from the standpoint of the online congregation, they will see that, but, and I could absolutely have used a different lower third or whatever, but they will see that. But going back to my in-person congregation, they don't. And then when we go looking through other stuff, it's exactly how it looks here. So that is how you can do the that's how you can have a lower third going to one screen without going to another. If you like this content, you'd like my ProPresenter Quick Start course, so head on over, I'll click that again, to TDM.fyi/ProQuick. Give me your name and email address and I'll make a login for you for free. Until next time, this is Paul Allen Clifford from TrinityDigitalMedia.com and ChurchTechU.com, reminding you to go out and change eternity.